Future and his ex-fiancée Ciara broke up almost a decade ago after she found out he was cheating on her. But instead of moving on, focusing on one of his 6 other baby mamas, Future has spent the last 7 years sending shots at Ciara and her husband Russell Wilson. So today, we're breaking down just how petty Future really is over his ex and her new man. Future and Ciara started seeing each other around 2013 after their label put them together. Ciara told Brides magazine she just went to the studio to work with him, but it developed into a real relationship. They got engaged later that year in October, but the good times didn't last long. At first, everyone thought Future was actually going to settle down. He hopped on tracks with Ciara like Where You Go and Anytime, and even acted in the music video for her song Body Party. And when he allegedly threw down $500,000 for her engagement ring, fans thought it was a wrap. They had a son together in 2014 named Future Zahir Wilburn. But 3 months later, Ciara broke it off after Future allegedly cheated on her with his stylist. A source close to Ciara told US Magazine that Ciara was devastated when she found out, but she decided to move on and focus on their son. The cheating allegedly wasn't just a one-off thing, and multiple people knew about it before Ciara found out. She allegedly pressed Future about it, then called the engagement off. They tried to get back together for the sake of baby Future, but it didn't work out, and they broke up again just a few weeks later. Then Ciara put the final nail in the coffin when she got her tattoo dedicated to Future removed. She had an N on her left ring finger that stood for Future's real name, Nevadius, and it was clear that she was trying to move on when she got it taken off. This is where the situation started falling off the rails. In January 2015, Ciara dropped the first single off her new album called I Bet, and allegedly took shots at Future for cheating. She opens the track up with, I bet you start loving me soon as I start loving someone else, somebody better than you. Soon as you see me with someone else, somebody other than you. Later in the track, she allegedly took some savage shots at the woman Future cheated with. She said, is that your bitch over there, giving me the ugly stare, the one with the silicone ass and the Brazilian hair? And in the second verse, she let Future know she was already moving on with the lines, so you bought me a car, he can buy that too. I can take care of myself, and I can find someone to do it too. You acting like you upgraded me, I upgraded you. A few months later, Ciara announced she was dating Russell Wilson, and that's when things started to get really messy. Future told HuffPuff Live that he was the one who ended the engagement, and that it didn't have anything to do with cheating. According to him, they just grew apart and it wasn't working out. Ciara clapped back on Twitter and aired him out for lying and being a bad parent. She wrote, some person is so dishonest and ignorant that they don't deserve a response. And then, one's main focus should be on being a good parent. Rumors were flying that Future wouldn't even speak to Ciara about Wilson and the situation with baby Future. But according to Future, he wanted to link up with Wilson because he didn't want strangers around his son. Ciara and Wilson have been posting photos of all of them together on social media. And Future told Rolling Stone, you can't just move around with my son a certain kind of way. I feel like a lot of moves are just made out of just being evil, basically. And in January 2016, he turned up the heat even more on social media. According to Future, Ciara was trying to control the whole situation with her son, and he had to go through lawyers just to see him. He tweeted, this got control problems. But instead of clapping back on social media, Ciara went straight for Future's pockets and hit him with a $15 million defamation lawsuit. In the case, Ciara claimed that Future was capping about not going to see their son. And according to a source close to the situation, Future was just using Ciara's name to promote his own career. Future was also allegedly sending shots at her in his music. On the track, Thought It Was a Drought, he rapped, I'ma choose the dirty over you. You know I ain't scared to lose you. They don't like it when you tell them the truth. I'd rather be realer than you. Then on Live from the Gutter, he said, I watched my broad give up on me like I'm average. I went back inside the attic, counted up, and started laughing. He allegedly took more shots at Ciara and Wilson on how it feel, when he said, ask me how it feel to watch your bitch fuck the bitch. Then on the outro, he dissed Ciara's career and said he put her back on the spotlight. He said, I made you bitch. I made you bitch. You was nothing before me. I gave you fame on the gram. I'll put you back on the charts. I gave you a #1 spot. Ciara also accused Future of sending death threats to Wilson, but then Future turned around and opened a lawsuit against her. According to his case, he couldn't have damaged her career because it was already at a low point. Her album from 2015 flopped and sold less copies than any of her other records. Plus, critics were dragging it too. Eventually, Ciara and Future both dropped the lawsuits against each other, but that didn't mean the situation was getting any better. And in 2017, Jay-Z even addressed it on the track Kill Jay-Z with the lines, I don't even know what you would have done in the future other than playing football with your son. Ho said the line wasn't meant to be a diss, but in 2019, Future did an interview with the Dirty Boys and said that Jay should have supported him instead of airing out a situation on the track. By 2017, people were already calling Future petty for still talking about the situation, but he allegedly sent more shots at Ciara on the track Real Love. He raps, "I couldn't walk away, my ego all in the way. I dropped cash on it, she told me she loved me even more. These 4 doors and Quaaludes, they got me dehydrated. Turn on me, sue me, no, nothing seems to amaze me." Ciara and Wilson were already married and had a daughter together. That didn't stop Future from airing them out. In 2019, he called Wilson out for not being a man and doing whatever Ciara says. But instead of clapping back, Ciara just posted a photo of herself on IG with the caption, "Rise Above." And Wilson captioned the photo of baby Future and his daughter with, "All that matters, #love." When Ciara and Wilson didn't take the bait, Future walked it back and said, "We don't have no problems. I don't have nothing against them, and I'm happy for them." Last year, GQ asked them if Future's public toxicity made the situation harder, and Wilson said, "I don't think anybody made it hard. I think it was easy for us." Even though they haven't been sending shots back at Future, it's clear that Ciara and Wilson don't want to be around him. Back in February, they were at a Super Bowl party in LA, and a clip started going around of them leaving when Drake brought Future out to perform. Wilson has been making headlines lately for getting off to a rough start with the Denver Broncos. He was drafted by the Seahawks back in 2012 and eventually became the highest paid player on the team. But in March, they traded him to the Broncos. The trade was supposed to turn the Broncos into a Super Bowl contender, but the situation didn't get off to a great start. And back in October, it got even worse when the Raiders started blasting Future's track, My Collection, during warm-ups before their game with Denver. My Collection is one of Future's most savage tracks, and he allegedly took shots at Ciara with the lines, "She told me she was an angel, she f***ed 2 rappers and 3 singers. She got a few athletes on speed dial. I'm trying to get the case dismissed before I see trial." Fans linked the lyrics back to Ciara, who dated Bow Wow, Ludacris, 50 Cent, and Trey Songz before she got with Future. She also dated Cam Newton and Amari Stoudemire back in the day, and the Broncos ended up losing the game, which made the situation even more embarrassing. Wilson's having a tough time on the field, but fans think Future is doing a lot worse. Back in April, he dropped a new project, and the track Love You Better is allegedly aimed at Ciara. On the song, Future says, "Taking our memories on love and treating it like nothing. Taking our memories on love and treating it like gossip." Another line on the track says, "I just don't want to sit and pray, baby. Almost like it didn't happen to make you happy." Ciara and Russell Wilson have been open about their faith in interviews, and they even admitted that they didn't hook up until they were married. When the news broke about their abstinence, Future talked about it and said he and Ciara prayed together after they had sex. The video for the track allegedly features a fake Ciara and Russell Wilson, but Future still claims he isn't being toxic. He told GQ that everyone has their own definition of toxic, and he thinks all the women he's been with are actually the toxic ones. Now he's getting dragged online again after allegedly sending more shots at Ciara and Wilson on Real Boston Richie's track Bullseye 2. One of his bars says, "If my wasn't Jigga, I'm the type to go after B, and I still smash on C, like the quarterback of the Chiefs. I'm in the field, no cleats." While he didn't say Ciara's name out loud, most people think he's trying to say they're still hooking up. Plus, the next line is calling himself a quarterback, which doesn't seem like a coincidence. Ciara and Wilson haven't responded to any of the new shots Future's taking, but it seems pretty clear that they're just trying to live their lives and move on. It's almost been a decade since Ciara and Future broke up, and people online are telling them it's time to just drop it, because at this point, it's going beyond petty and just makes them look bad.